What is this? Some kind of poor decision podcast with SMAJOR?
SMAJOR is crazy, by the way.
SMAJOR?
I'm getting like legal government names.
Okay.
Is your surname SMAJOR?
No, my actual last name is Major. That's why it's Scott Major, S Major.
Oh, wow.
I really love how he did his research for this episode, guys.
No.
Welcome to another episode of 0%. Today we have one of my favorite people on earth. Don't tell me else I said that, though. Scott Major, dang, that's a long name.
Hiya.
Welcome to our basement.
Thank you for having me in your basement.
It would be fucked if your real surname was Minor. And then, because there's the whole Minecraft YouTuber thing where... So if you were called Scott Minor... Am I digging myself into a hole?
Yeah, but I'm just excited to see where you go.
Yeah,
it's a big trend among Minecraft YouTubers to be predators.
It's been 30 seconds. It's been 30 seconds.
No, I just want to speak my mind, and I just think it would be really fucked if your surname was Minor. Not that you do that. Not that I feel like this is implying that you do that. So, welcome to the podcast.
Guys, we need to open this off by saying Scott, especially after you just said that to him, has done crazy charity work for us today.
God, yeah.
I provided blankets. I got some nice pillows.
He got us a reed diffuser.
Well, Lexie just said, I don't know how to make it not smell like basement, so...
How does the diffuser work? Do we light it?
That's it. It's done.
Wow.
It's like a smelling oil, and then it slowly builds its way up through these like reed sticks.
It's beautiful.
I've been getting
and
into
every so
candles
often you just
lately.
turn the reeds upside down.
Erin bought a candle because
Aaron seems like a candle kind of guy.
Yeah, I keep eating mackerel and it smells out the whole apartment.
No, that makes sense why you'd be a candle guy then.
It was either we get candles or I'm forced to eat mackerel on the balcony.
So welcome, Scott. How's your day been? How you doing? Thank you so much for the blankets and the pumpkins. And he turned up with 2 bags, and I was like, I've seen this script before. And then it just kept going. He was like, another one.
Well, it was you literally earlier today said, yeah, sorry, we're rushing to make it not look like a drug den. So I was
It does look like a drug den, to be
what
fair.
can I do to soften the drug den?
Guys, once we get our first paycheck in from the rebrand, we're literally...
Guys,
we're doing
please
it.
sub to the Patreon.
Please sub to the Patreon.
We actually need this.
Please watch this all the way through. We need the ad set.
We actually need... Turn off your ad blocker if you're watching this.
Throw it up in another monitor. Like, have it in the background. Come on, guys.
Back in the One Direction days where people stream on like 6 monitors and then they're like TV as well. But welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
We've never had you on even Fireball Friday.
No, I know.
And
It's
the
'cause
gag
I hate
is,
you.
yeah, well, yes. And also the gag is Scott was like, "Oh, come on, once you have a set,
We have-
you bitch,
we have a concept.
Yeah,
we have a
I got
concept of a
baited.
set.
Set was in quotation marks. I didn't realise that part.
And then you turned up and gave us actually the softest blankets ever. Hashtag ad, hashtag spawn. I remember the Home Sense ad you did.
I did do a home
You
sense.
did a home
That
sense
was,
ad?
it was honestly like one of the best brand deals I ever had because they were just like, hey, we want you to decorate a room or an area like a video game. And I was like, The Sims is a video game. So then I just got given like $1,000 to decorate part of my office. It was great. I just got to go and shop for free. And then was like, yes, this is a game. It's based on The Sims.
Scott's
that's
also the most
wicked.
seasonal shopper ever. Oh my god, last year Scott's birthday last year was a catastrophe for me, guys. I need to tell this story really quick. Scott's birthday in November. What day exactly? Because we always do the birthday weekend.
We normally do it the weekend around. So it's
Yeah.
like, my birthday's the 10th. It's normally around then.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I'm going to get him something seasonal because every season you decorate your living room differently and it's beautiful and amazing. And I was like, I'm going to get him a like cinnamon apple woodwick candle and a really cute mug. Left it at my house. We're halfway to like wherever we were going for your birthday last year. And Cam goes, what'd you get, Scott? And I'm like, oh, fuck. I turn up. Lizzie had bought you a candle and a mug. Eloise had bought you a candle and a mug.
People know I like a candle.
I was like, fuck. And so then I start panicking because then the seasons were changing. I was like, what do I get this man? I'm in Oliver Bonus, literally like, I'm cooked. And in the end, I just got him a bottle of sake.
My favourite thing though is that we just have like a habit of every time it's my birthday, I'll get my birthday present from you like months. Like it's normally like May, March.
Literally,
like,
it was your
following
summer
year. Like, yeah.
barbecue, and I turned up like, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. It's great. It just keeps my birthday. Like I never know what I'm going to get. It's like a surprise.
I'm just going to start buying you summer candles now. So you're
You should just at one point when we're hanging out, buy me something be like, that's for your birthday this year. I've done it. I've done it this time.
Every time I see you, because we barely see each other.
To be fair, both of us are end up like, you're much more social life busy and I'm much more like traveling work busy.
Yeah, you're
So then
busy.
whenever you're here, I'm away, and then whenever I'm here, you're out doing things.
I'm at the club. I'm at the
or you're in
club.
London, or you're traveling. Like,
And this is Scott and Harry's first time seeing each other, like not at an event.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
normally it's just like TwitchCon parties.
Usually it's TwitchCon parties or like Aimsie's parties,
Yeah.
but they don't even do those anymore. Well, maybe they do, and I just don't get fucking invited.
Normally Harry's throwing dildos at the wall.
That's
and-
like, I was
Oh
going
my
to say
God,
that
I
was
forgot.
that is my, I think, my core memory for you. Whenever I think of you, I think of at Amy's. We're all just chatting.
the Temu dildo.
Yep, me and Beck are just in mid conversation. You just walk into the living room, go into your bag, pull out a Temu dildo, and then just are like, "Why do I have this?" And we're all like, "Why do you have this?" And you just throw it; it sticks to the wall.
I know, and it stayed. I have a really cinematic photo of it when like there's like shadows and stuff.
It was like
and
an
everyone's
Oppenheimer
partying.
poster.
It was actually so fire. But going back to the little story you told regarding the candles and the mug, is it because of the? Do you also do mackerel?
No, I
Oh, you
just
just
like
like
my
candles.
house smelling nice.
Okay,
Oh my god, Scott has the nicest like decorated house ever.
really?
My thing is like I really like interior design, and I also don't want to be that person. Like one of my biggest fears is that I smell bad and no one tells me because like there's two people in it, so it's awkward. So it's the same as I'm like I don't want to be that person with a house that smells weird. So like if I'm having guests over, like the candle warmer's on, I've sprayed some air freshener. There's
Candle
incense.
warmer.
Yeah, so you don't light it. It's just like a lamp that warms up the top of the candle. So it basically means that you don't like accidentally burn down the house.
What did
So
you just do?
good.
You hit a
Because
little
me and
emote.
G for Scott's birthday one year bought him like a Maxwell
You bought me the
a Maxwelter. Well, yes.
You bought me the incense with you, where you
Yeah.
it drops in and it like pours it out. And
I was like, but that was me today. I bought a plug-in. I've got Febreze and I've got a reed diffuser. It actually doesn't smell like basement.
I was going to say I
insulation
keep getting
area.
wafts of the reed diffuser every
I'm
so
like,
often. I'm like, okay.
But before we start the interview properly, remember that we are live every week on twitch.tv/Politicians TTV, and there'll be an extra hour or so of this interview over on our Patreon. So go check it out. We need money.
Patreon.com/Viable Friday. We
Can't
couldn't
change
change
the
the URL. Sorry, everyone.
Anyway, so Harry, you can do the first question.
No flipping way. I've actually always
goodness.
wanted to do the first question.
You're gonna learn that when I format the questions, I do it in my way of thinking. Like Adam's last week, I put 365 party girl, and I knew what I meant. And Harry goes, "So you're a 365 party girl?"
To be fair, this is like whenever I do the MCC, when we used to do the MCC update videos, Not As Crew would, like, Stefan would write the script first, and then I'd have to go in and write it in, like, how I would actually speak, because it was just written in his, like, way, and I was like, that doesn't make sense for me. So
like,
I'd go in and,
"Please."
like, gayify it, and then it was like, okay, now it's ready to go.
So, obviously, you had the username Damn That's a Long Name.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is your kind of origin story? What's the story of Scott S. Major? What's your come up? How did this all start?
Scott S Major, by the way.
Yeah,
S. Major.
Scott Major.
Yeah.
The funny thing, so like, I started YouTube like years and years and years ago. It was originally like my sister was the one who was like introduced me to like people doing YouTube as like a job.
When you say years and years ago, what age? Because you're older.
I like the add of in there. Probably when I was like 17
Okay.
kind of thing.
Dang,
which-
and they just had colour TV back then.
I know, it was crazy. We were just getting over dial-up. But my sister was kind of like, oh yeah, like there's these people that do like vlogs and that, and I remember like that's stupid. Like, why would anyone like watch someone's day-to-day life?
Yeah,
kind of thing? 'Cause
fuck Factor Joe.
back then YouTube was just like cat videos and music videos for me. But then my sister, funnily enough, introduced me to two channels. It was Strawberry 17, which is Megan, and then Joey Graceffa, which is just hilarious because I'm friends with both of them now. So it was such a like, oh, you were my first intro to YouTube, and now we're besties. Cool. And originally, I would start YouTube, try it for 6 months, wouldn't go anywhere, would give up, forget about it for a few months, and then would forget the username and password. So would like start again, and I did that.
So it's
like,
all still up.
there's like really old channels like of like like no face cam or anything kind of thing, but like that like Camtasia border around the edges of the videos. Like,
What about your trending apps video?
Oh yeah, I mean, but that was on the Dang It's a Long Name channel. That
We
one.
deleted
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
What's
well, I
up
mean,
with
I
that?
went through and removed a bunch of or I unlisted a lot of the old stuff.
That means the links are selected,
Lost
guys.
media.
Lost media, yeah. But I started that, eventually started the Dang That's Long Name channel because it was the sort of advice I was given at the time was like, make a channel that's easy to remember, doesn't have any like weird numbers or underscores or X's in it because it's hard to like remember where they are. So that's when I was like, Dang That's a Long Name. And originally I was going to do Damn That's a
That's
Long
not
Name.
even. It's not that long though. The username.
It isn't until you have to. I used to sign that at conventions.
Oh,
I used to
God.
write "Dang, that's
That's
a
a
long
sentence.
name." Yep. And it was people would come and be like, "Can you send my pop socket?" And I'm like, having to like turn the entire thing around as I'm writing it. Eventually I shortened that to DTLN and now just SMAJOR.
Is that why you rebranded to SMAJOR? Because
yes and
it's
no.
just
Like,
easy.
Dang This Long Name still is on YouTube, and I really like having that separation because during like the 2020, 2021 cancellation eras where like the Twitter mobs were after me, they weren't quite smart enough to clock that was also me on YouTube.
Wait,
So
you just read them. You clocked that too.
I mean,
so
if you're harassing someone online over Minecraft, like, I'm not assuming you've got the highest intellect there. I'm really not.
Yeah.
Tell them. Well, I remember the first time I got tagged in a Dang That's a Long Name video, and I was like, wait, I've got aura
Was it
now.
Among Us?
It was Among Us. Oh, but we will be talking about that later.
But yeah, so that was kind of where it was. And then funnily enough, I was always just Scott or SMAJOR. The only time I ever became Scott SMAJOR was because Toby. Like, Toby was the first person to ever call me Scott SMAJOR, and then it just stuck. Like,
Yeah,
he said it, call it Wildfire, and that's just everyone calls me Scott SMAJOR now.
No, literally, we used to turn up to like bookings, and people would be like, booking for SMAJOR? And I'm like, his name is Scott Major. Like, they're not going to turn around and go, yeah, table for Dang, that's a long name. Like, this way, actually. So did you always do gaming, or did it take you a minute to...
The trending
streamline into
apps.
that?
I chopped and changed.
We were a big fan of the trending app video, guys.
It actually was fire. I, love
I
that
chopped
shit.
and changed a lot because it was like I kind of made gaming to start with, and then it was like the people I was watching at the time was like Joey and Megan, and like I remember that was also the year of like Zoella and Alfie Days and all this sort of stuff.
Oh
So
my
it was
God.
kind of like cool. Like I guess it's why also like I never hid my name because like they all had their full names in their channels. So I was like, cool, yeah, my name's Scott Major, cool. Like it helps so that there's also an actor called Scott Major. So if you Google it, he comes up instead. So it means people think I'm like 54.
Will we ever get a Scott Major advent calendar in that case?
You know, if I can figure out a really high price for it, yes.
And a bunch of just tats to
Yeah.
put inside. A bunch of shit.
I'll clear out some of my wardrobes.
Yeah, it'd be like
Make my own.
cut up MCC coin.
I saw Alfie Days not too long ago. It was me and Jack it was when he got back from tour and we were like, let's stay drink. So we were
course.
at the the Green Dragon in the North Lanes.
Love.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like sat outside. It was like 3 p.m. We were like 5 drinks deep. It was rough.
Tough day in the office.
And then I go, that guy looks like Alfie Days. And he comes closer and he has like this huge stroller. I don't know how many kids he has, but there's like 3 seats in this stroller. So
he's got the Range Rover.
I assume
He's
he
just
has,
preparing. I think you only have one, maybe coming up a second
Yeah.
now.
yeah, there were 3. There was like 3.
He's an ahead
Well, not 3
thinker.
kids. I don't think he took anyone else's.
Were you just drunk? Or
No,
is this
no,
like-
I swear.
Yeah,
'cause
you
I-
were just seeing
'cause
through.
I remember I turned to Jack and I went, that guy looks like Alfie Days, and that fucking stroller's massive.
Was
it
it-
was like taking up the entire
Was
pavement.
it wide 3 or was it long 3?
It was what, like a tandem?
Yeah.
Like a
Well, no,
tandem
they do some where it's like 2 facing together and then one that's just kind of tucked under them.
Yeah.
Like,
Who's
no,
the
it
other
was-
who's the third
child?
child that gets just the view of the back of the other?
It's my
stroller?
child that I fucking hate. He goes at the
least
bottom.
favourite.
That child that I fucking hate.
But no, it was really wide. And I go, oh, that guy looks like Alfie Days. And then he comes close and I go, oh my God, that is Alfie Days. But then he like kind of doesn't leave. And he's just kind of there for about 40 minutes.
He's also day drinking.
Yeah, he's day drinking with
Three
the kids.
Yeah.
But no, he's just kind of like orbiting the pub. I thought he was like scared to ask me for a photo or something. He was there
He's
suspiciously
just a
long.
I heard he's-
really big average Harry and Jack
Yeah,
Randall fan.
he's a big fan of Poor Decisions. I heard he's coming on the show.
Yes.
So-
No, he fucking better not be.
Oh, and
He's nearly hit me with his Tesla twice now. Okay.
how often are you in?
Yeah,
how long are you
I don't
in
know.
Alfie Days
I don't know.
peripherals?
But I bump into him too much, and 2 of the times he's nearly killed me in a car, which is very hard to hit people in. By the way,
The one that actively
so I think
stops.
he's doing it on purpose. I
It's giving him the warning and he's speeding
He's
up.
just he actually has it in the settings if it looks like you to like speed up.
He's like hot wired. He's jailbroken his Tesla and goes, if you see a fat kid with a lisp, speed up.
I've
call
only
yourself a
seen
kid
him
anymore.
once, and I was at the theatre in Brighton going to see Waitress, and we were like sat down in our row, and everyone kind of stood up because someone else was coming in. So like me and the person I was with stood up, and then it was just Alfie Days
With his
dad.
3
Yeah.
wide
With
roller.
his dad, and then I just sort of looked, and we were like, "Was that?" Oh, and he's like, "Yeah," and it turns out Zoella was also there, but just like up at the back, like she got the.
Oh my
cheap
God.
seats.
Alfie
He
Days
hates
doesn't
her,
have
I guess.
aura. Alfie
Her
Days
and,
doesn't have
her
aura
and
anymore.
the mum was upstairs, him and the dad were down.
He was like, get me away from these children, please. So for you, anyway, what for you was like a pivotal moment in your career where you felt like, okay, this could go full time? For people who might not know, because I feel like you have so much history to you now because you've been around for so long.
Yeah, I'm ancient. I'm basically
How old are
decrepit. I turned 30 this year.
He's the same age
Wow.
as G.
I'm 29.
Wow.
Well,
I'm still 29 at the
G
moment.
hit the big 30
Yeah.
recently.
I'll grab
Are
on.
you scared?
No. I mean, I still mentally, like, feel like I'm 24, which is where I went into the pandemic at. Like, I feel like those, like, 3
God, it's
years
been
of
that long.
pandemic time
Been that long is
of,
wild.
like, I don't feel like I really had those, like, 3 years.
Yeah,
Like, that
no.
25th to 28 didn't feel like it kind of happened. And
You're
then suddenly
still-
I'm turning 30.
You're still 26.
Exactly.
It's going to be your 26th birthday. I'm going to get you a 26th birthday card.
I've checked, and luckily my hairline has not changed since 2018, so
You have
like,
a
I'm
strong
fine. I was
You
like,
do have a
strong
I was like, my
hairline.
hairline really
Fair
has stuck
play.
it out.
Considering you bleach it so much as well.
I know my hair just grows really fast.
Yeah.
So like it's never getting damaged because it'll get bleached and then cut out basically by the next time. So I've managed to hold on to that. A few of my friends have been
Not so fortunate.
Yeah, no, a lot of them keep talking about the turkey trip. They're like, when are we doing the turkey trip?
I got a turkey trip sponsor. I got an email and they were like, "We'll if you do a video about it, we'll pay for your teeth and your hair." And
They
I'm
called
like,
you a minger.
And I'm like, no way you think I'm that.
You were
fucking-
like,
I
didn't
have a
think-
good hairline as well.
You come out with the glam
You also have
filter.
fairly nice teeth.
Yeah, I
I don't know why
know.
they're
I'm
trying
like,
to take
who the
those.
fuck? This is so rude.
To be fair, one of my friends, their child, who like children are ruthless, like they don't have a filter. And the other
I thought
day,
you said worthless.
no,
then.
ruthless. And she looked at him like the other day and was like, "Daddy, why have you cut your hair?" And he was like, "What? What do you mean?" And she just pointed at his bald spot, like where he's losing hair. He was like, "The turkey trip needs to happen soon, guys. The turkey trip. We need to lock this in."
no.
Yeah, that's rough.
But yeah, what would you say was your first big boom?
I think for me was probably
Big boom.
when I
AJ, big
hit like
festivus.
100,000 subs was kind of my like, oh okay, like I'm, because at the time I was like still at university and I was making YouTube videos and I was working part-time in Argos. So
I forgot we
Yeah.
both worked at Argos.
it's the only reason I know the phonetic alphabet.
Talking to that stupid fucking
yeah,
headset.
the
I
headset,
hate Argos.
alpha, delta. Like I'm just like, okay.
There's a different thing Harry passionately hates each episode. Last week it was VidCon. Also, I did that because Harry likes to deep breathe into the mic and I felt you gearing one up, so I tried to stop
that's
it.
what that
Yeah,
was.
sorry, I did it without explanation.
It's like someone about to sneeze and you like say bless you
Yeah.
and it cuts them off. Like, but I'd say like I remember vividly at the time like I was earning more from YouTube than I was from work for ages, and I was sort of like still doing work just because it was something I enjoyed doing. I liked the people, and then also my like mum was quite like, well, YouTube could end at any point. Like this was still brand new at the time. Like this was what 10 years ago now, kind of thing. So like.
I believe the first video was actually 11 years ago that you have.
Yeah,
published.
but this was when I was hitting 100k, so it was around that like
gag.
10.
Only took him a
9,
year.
10 years.
Gag on
There we
it.
go. And I remember at the time it was like I'd liked the job and all this, and I could have quit but didn't bother. And then one of the days I ended up like was meant to pick up a Hoover for my godmother kind of thing. So because I have my staff discount, so I get the code, go up to the desk. One of my managers comes over, and I'm like, "Oh hey, like can you put this through for me?" Da, da, da. And she's like, "Oh yeah," and she's like, "Oh, it's a Hoover," and I was like, "Yeah, it's for my godmother kind of thing." And then she's like, "Oh okay, like well I can't put through your staff discount," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
I was like, but like I'm here buying it kind of thing. She's like, yeah, but it's not for you or your immediate family, so I can't do it. And I'm like, yeah, but you buy things for your niece all the time. Like I run you through for family members all the time. She's like, yeah, but that's a gift. And I'm like, okay, well, it's a gift for my godmother then. Like,
It was
I
the
don't know what
hair on the,
issue is.
the camel's back.
Wouldn't also this is the person who like constantly asked me to stay late. I used to give lifts to the like train station. Like, I fully thought she was joking for a good like minute or two, and then realized she was being dead serious about it. So I was like, right, cool, never mind. Like I went and I was like, forget it. I just went and paid for the self-checkout because I didn't want to deal with her anymore. Got the Hoover and like dropped it off, and I like went home and I was seething, and I was like, that's it, I'm done.
That
I'm not doing it. Literally, I was like, that bitch is like, she can walk to the train station from now on. So I like have a little mauled about it. Then that night I hit 100k on YouTube. So like it's like everything's fine. Like I kind of forget about it.
And you went, and fuck you!
Yeah, screw you, Natalie. So then I tweeted about it at the time or something where it was like, oh, my manager wouldn't let me put through my thing. And I was very careful on like, you didn't mention the company name, you didn't mention my manager. Like no one online knew where I worked kind of thing. And my work knew I did YouTube like on the side kind of thing. Mainly because I'd had it one time where someone came up to the desk and asked for a photo and I'm just in my uniform. And I
You're
like
like-
turned to one of the managers like, am I allowed to do this? And he was like, yeah, this is hilarious, go. But I got into work, like I had Monday off, went in on Tuesday, and Natalie wouldn't talk to me. Like, would not look at me, was like acting like such a brat, like would just not acknowledge me whatsoever. And then I get called into the manager's office. So I'm like, right, okay. So I'm like, go in. And then he's basically like, the store manager is like super belittling and passive aggressive and is like, oh, I hear you like went in a mood and had a tiff about Natalie the other day, blah, blah, this. And I'm like, no. Like this, and I was just like stood like, just like refusing, because I was like, I'm going to say something else, I'm going to get fired here. So I'm like, like this is fine. And then at the very end, he was like, also, I don't appreciate you posting on Facebook about my staff. And I was like, I never posted on Facebook. And he's like, yes, you did. And I was like, absolutely did not. And he's like, I have a screenshot. I was like, show me. So he gets his phone out. He's like, oh, it was Twitter. My bad. And then I was just like, okay, yeah. I was like, never mentioned anyone though. So that was my final straw where I was like, well, now I just don't feel like I can trust any of you who are following me.
They were ops.
That was literally like the next day I went to like a different manager and was like, here's my 2 weeks notice. And he was like, yeah, no, I thought this
Go on,
was
which
coming.
store was it, Scott? Call him out.
Argos.
Yeah, which one?
Which one?
Come on.
No, because that kind of docks where I lived. I was like,
Give the one the town over. Come on
near
now.
Glasgow. One
I had-
Argos in the Glasgow vicinity.
Go on, guys, go crazy. Reddit, I know you're going to love that
All
one.
of my staff at Argos, when I first joined, they were so wicked. I had this one manager and he was awesome. But then it turns out he was making me do fraud on his behalf. So then he got fired. But I didn't get in any trouble because I could like plead the fifth and go, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I go in but the first manager I had was like actually wicked. Because even though he was low-key doing fraud, he also knew who Tommy Innit was.
Nice. Cool.
And this is like when I
Priorities.
started showing up in his videos. It was like, if you ever need a shift change because you need to go down and film a video with him, that's all right.
That's
and
fun.
I went, this is the best job ever. And then he got fired
Probably
fraud,
for...
of course.
for fraud. And they wouldn't have caught him, but apart from he got
wasn't for you meddling kids.
no, they caught like another manager, and that other manager like took everyone down. who else
Wow.
also
He
was
said, if
doing
I'm going to have
fraud.
taken them all.
Well,
Yeah, it was
Argos
fucked.
has drama.
And then the second manager I got was actually just like evil.
Oh, no, I've had a few of those, yeah.
But like, she was the store manager and she was 20. How?
Nepo baby. If you thought you were a Nepo baby, I think we
I love that this has become an
How?
Argos like therapy session.
Well, my favourite bit though is that like you worked in Argos when it was owned by Sainsbury's. I worked in Argos when it was a sister company for Homebase because that
Oh
was
my
how I got
God.
the job. Because I worked in
Oh.
Homebase, and Homebase where I worked shut down and got replaced by B&M. So I worked there for a bit. B&M was awful. But so then I went to Argos like at Christmas time and I was like, hey, I know how all your systems already work because it's the exact same as Homebase.
Let
And they were like,
me
great, we
in.
don't need to train this guy, get him in.
Yeah, Argos Christmas is potentially.
I ruined so many Christmases.
So it was when it's when you do the delivery.
Yeah.
And then you go, okay, we have some discrepancies. Let's hope it's nothing important. And it's always like a PS5.
Yep.
And then some poor man, for some reason, decides to pick up the Christmas presents on Christmas Eve.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
And comes in and goes, I'm here to pick up my son's PS5. And we go, it didn't come. And he's going, well, you fucking ruined Christmas. No, you've ruined Christmas, you daft cunt. Because you're the one attempting to pick up your children's presents the day before. You won't even have time to wrap it.
It literally was, we used to get people coming in like 10 minutes before close on Christmas Eve trying to get like the hot toy of the season.
Yeah.
And then just telling us that we ruined Christmas. And I'm like, well, maybe if you plan ahead for next year, we won't run into this issue.
Could never be me.
Did you work
Could
your
never
leaving
be me.
period?
I mean, I had 2 weeks that I had to do, which I did because it was on, like, it was part-time, so it was only maybe like 3 or 4 shifts kind of thing. But it was great because I just made Natalie's life hell because she was just seething the entire rest of the thing because I think she thought something else would happen other than me being like, okay, peace. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, you all
Sick.
need me for the hours way more than I've needed here. I was like, I'm a checkout.
Yeah, I quit. And then I did one shift because they made me do like a month before I could actually leave. I did one shift, and then Tom was like, "Come down to Brighton for the weekend. Let's film a vlog." And I went lit, but I had like 2 shifts that weekend.
Oh.
So I was like, for some reason I was too much of a pussy to tell my manager. I actually just muted her on WhatsApp. Just like, and,
I mean, if she's evil, go for it.
yeah, I just muted her on WhatsApp, and then I was like, I never have to see her again. And then I realised I still buy things from Argos, and I had to go in and like pick up a MacBook.
It's been like smashed. Wait, so when was the first time you guys met? What was your first meeting?
one of Amy's.
I was going to say probably one of Amy's like New Year's things or just random
Something along
parties,
those
birthdays. One of them, like back at their old place because it was bigger. They used to do like birthdays or just general hangs or game nights. Like
I thought that was going to be more of a notable story. I'm not going to lie.
No, there was.
I feel like because we kept seeing each other just in passing at those things.
What's
like,
your first opinion of him?
I mean, I'm pretty sure the only core memory I have from Harry was the dildo against the wall. That's literally it.
That was like a
That's
third
pretty
time
legendary.
meeting.
Like that was like our third time meeting. But what I mean is like we didn't really mingle much beforehand. Not for any like particular reason. It normally was just you were talking to people and I was talking to different people. Like,
Yeah, and also I think the first two parties, Bill was there, and Bill used to get me so high I'd be scared. And
I sat there like.
I'd actually just like watch you guys
Like, he
play
hates
Jackbox.
me.
I'd be like, okay,
We would
okay.
just play Jackbox or Mario Party.
How did you feel about Scott? Because I remember so vividly TwitchCon, was it last year? Yeah, it must have been. And Max and Johnny being like, we spoke to Scott. And then I went to you and you were like, no, they asked me if they could eat my leftovers. That was
No,
it.
I remember it was like, you'd said, it was like, oh, Johnny said he like chatted to you and I was like, he said bye when we got into the Uber because everyone was kicked out of the venue. It's
Who
like,
got kicked out of the venue?
Well, it was like the venue shut at like 11 something. So it was after like the MCC party at Rotterdam. Everyone was kind of stood outside deciding where they were going. And like that area of Rotterdam was just like a dead zone. There was nothing else
God.
open. I remember me and Shelby, like, I've never struggled to find a glass of water more in a first world country in my life.
Oh
Like,
my, and the queue was so long to
Yeah.
get any kind of drink.
yeah, so like that was the thing. But I just remember getting outside and Johnny was just like, oh, it was nice seeing you. And I was like, oh yeah, kind of thing. Like I knew who Johnny was via proxy, if you know, but like we hadn't ever spoken. That was it. So when you were like, oh yeah, Johnny said chat, I was like, did we? I was like,
You're like, yeah.
I have now. Johnny's lovely, but just at the time I remember that being so funny.
Were you scared of Scott's Major?
Not particularly, but I have a bone to pick with you.
Oh.
San Diego MCC party. It was the one at Margaritaville.
The rooftop one,
Yes.
yeah.
Margaritaville. I love Margaritaville.
It was at Margaritaville. It was kind of a freaking movie. Let's make that. It was awesome. But I get there, and I don't. First of all, I'm 20, so I don't drink in America. But my friend had a drink, and my friend has no problem with strong drinks at all. But oh my god, it was like drinking gasoline. It was absurd.
What's that got to do with Scott?
Yeah, I was like, why
It
am I
was your
getting...
party.
Oh.
It was your
To
party.
be fair, I literally, when it comes to like, I found out that like for this San Diego, we're doing a party via someone messaging me to ask if they can come, and I was like, we're doing a party?
You're like,
I'm like, huh?
yeah, sure.
I was like, I've not heard about it, but it's because like Lunar Klein who were doing it with had started out the invites before we had told them to.
My favourite thing at that party, it was what's his name? Noxite?
Yeah.
Oh.
Noxite's great.
Noxite.
Drunk Noxite.
Noxite was very, very drunk.
What, really?
Noxite's thing is I think Stefan likes to relive his youth at an MCC party, so he just gets absolutely smashing out. It's like
love
his
it.
And I was talking to him. Well, he came up to me and he was like, we got onto the topic of Mongolia or something.
As you do.
I mean, he's
And
from Eastern Europe.
Yeah, and I
like-
was like, oh yeah, I can Mongolian throat sing. And like, obviously I can't. I thought it was very clearly a joke. He went, do it then. And I went, what? He went, Mongolian throat sing. So I was like, whoa. And I did it. And then he just went, you're a liar. And walked off. And I went, fuck, dude.
You've ruined
I'm
it.
never getting into MCC.
To be fair, I can promise you now, you could go up to him at another time and introduce himself. He will not remember. If he was drunk, not a thing is being remembered.
Every year he does the same thing where he goes, Lexie, you know this town, lead the way. We're in Rotterdam.
Yeah.
I do not know this place. And he goes, everyone follow Lexie. And I have a video of me, because I'm messaging Charlie going, everyone from MCC is following me. And I pan up and there's like 50 people behind me. And I just took everybody to the little butt plug door.
Yeah. Honestly, like that's my favorite thing with like the MCC stuff is like after like the party time ends, it splits into you've got the ones who want to go out and keep going and all that. Whereas like me, Shelby, Amy and I are like back to the hotel.
Like I was
So
ready
it's
to go
like,
home and everyone was like, come on Lexie, lead us. And I'm like, I don't
You've
know
got a
where I am.
reputation. You're the fun party
It's
girl.
always to après ski
But
as well.
Noxite every time goes, she knows where to go. No, I don't! We're in Rotterdam.
To be fair, after you've been to Rotterdam once, you kind of know where to go now. Après ski, get Dan
après
Clancy up
ski.
on the table.
Oh, we love Dan Clancy. We first met on Among Us, and it was
I know.
beautiful and magical.
I was going to say, our thing was really funny because it was the Among Us, and we kind of just had this like frenemy thing where like we both just like killing each other and then like calling each other liars. Like
I just love that
like-
it came out of nowhere as well. This is 2 weeks in a row we've spoken about Among Us on the pod, by the way. It's
Oh my
coming back,
God.
guys. It's coming back.
We're bringing it back.
And it's one thing I did love about Among Us is how you could just have that kind of relationship with somebody and it wasn't that serious.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I really hope this guy doesn't actually hate me because we're really going for each other
we
right
were,
now.
like proper. But then also at the same time we were just like, I remember vividly one point it was like one meeting thing, and we're basically just reciting the lyrics to Wicked.
That was when it changed. Then we started singing together.
Yeah, we were just doing that. But I just remember us doing it. Pegwood just kind of sat in the meeting like,
hello.
I don't know how to get involved in this.
That's what is this feeling is our karaoke
Yeah,
song.
it really was.
Time. And then we first met in person, and you came to mine and G's house in London, and I introduced you to bubble tea.
That
I
was,
remember that vividly.
I do remember.
And we did mini golf.
Was it you or G that just got like
Me!
every type of boba in it? Like it was more bubbles than it was drink.
Bro,
like,
Bubbleology, Soho.
it was
Oh my god,
Honestly,
I've been there.
gluten-free.
That was
Like,
the first time I ever had boba
that was my
from
one.
Bubbleology Sober.
And I used to get every single flavour and then get it extra large. So in a large cup, it was to here with bubbles. So there was maybe
Yep.
like this.
That's
much
more of a
tea.
dinner.
Yeah,
But it
literally.
was so sweet. But I'd sit there like, yeah.
It was also, I just remember that living room, it was like a massive living room and just G's giant treadmill in the background.
That house was so good though. Oh my god, what a time.
It was so fun.
Like I found a photo of us the other day, and it was like me, you, G, Gregan, and Jack Manifold. I'm like, what is this collection of people?
I remember
together?
that trip, we also went into town to see Koji and then we did
Yes.
the mini golf
Yeah,
bar
we went
place.
mini golf. I remember the cocktails.
Yeah, but they were good.
Oh, what a day! What a day!
What a day.
What a day. So you're friends with so many different people, like
Mr.
so
Popular.
many different people.
Hell's
Two
been old.
questions. Oh, well, yeah, because you've been around.
I've been such a long time. I've had plenty.
Who's your favourite?
Well,
Who's your least favourite?
Okay, that's easy. No.
well, who are people the most shocked that you know? Like, who's the one person where people go, "Oh my god, that's actually crazy that you two know each other."
I mean, for a lot of people that like aren't in the space or like my age, it's Joey Graceffa. Like my hairdresser, and I find it hilarious that like I know Joey.
Do you know what it was that really spun me? I went onto Facebook a few months ago, and it was a picture of Joey and Shelby, and I was like, I had Joey Graceffa liked on Facebook from when I was like a child.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, well. It was that New Year's Eve where you and Shelby were like, you're gonna love Joey, like you and Joey are gonna get on so well. And I look in the group chat and it's Joey Graceffa. And I'm like,
Isn't Joey American?
Yeah, he
What was he
was-
doing here?
I don't
Came
think
just
he
for the
actually
party?
Came in the end, did he? He didn't come in the end to the party.
Yeah, he did.
I think he did.
I saw a
Because that was
tweet.
that was the party that leaked Twitter were like, there was a fight and Phil's I had to drag
No,
everyone
because
out.
Joey
and
wasn't.
Graceffa was there.
Joey wasn't at that one. I think Joey was going to come, but
He was in the group
then
chat.
near the end, like, because he went through a phase for a few Christmases where like he would come to England and then just like go to a random cottage down in like Devon in the countryside and
No.
spend his Christmas like with a campfire or like the log fire and a Christmas tree and
No, I think
That's
he
so
was there because I
beautiful.
remember I got invited and then I couldn't make it and then I low-key got FOMO because
Yeah, he was at that one. Maybe it
Joey
was
Did he
last
actually
year.
come?
Oh,
to
yeah,
it?
because I remember seeing the phone going, oh my god, Jerry Graceffa
Let
was
me
there. What the fuck?
see.
I should have came.
let me see. I think, or maybe he did actually.
And whilst you're looking at that, who is your least favourite person that you've met?
God, there's so many word lists.
Go on. You can name multiple. We won't stop you.
No, I'm not gonna. I've managed to low-key not be cancelled online for a while now.
It's been like 2 years.
It's been really, really nice. I've been moisturised, staying in my lane, like
Hydrated.
unbothered. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm
come on,
having
it's
a
been
great
long
time.
enough.
No, we'll save it for the Patreon.
Yeah, save that for the Patreon.
Scott will answer that question on the Patreon.
You're up.
I'm
You are
up.
up.
I'm up.
The other one I'd say that people get surprised I know is Lil Simsy.
Oh my god, we love Little Simsy so much.
Kayla's great. Like
Low-key made 0% in hopes that Little Simsy can come on.
Kayla is like so sweet, and I remember it being so funny because when we were in Florida last year, it was me and then Cam's family were out, and then we were like, oh, we're gonna go and like hang out with my friend Kayla and Dad, and they were like, okay, have fun, blah blah blah. And it wasn't until like we got back that Cam's like cousin was like, it was Kayla, like Lil Simsy, and I'm like, yeah, and just
She's
like,
an
I love
icon.
her. Like
Everyone loves her.
She is an
Pretty much
icon.
any woman has had a Sims phase at one point, from like 15 to like 30. That age bracket know who Kayla is and love her. Like
Oh my god, she's amazing. And you were at the wedding, weren't you?
I was. The wedding was so-
Aww.
That was again the other one. It's just so many people be like, why is Scott at the wedding? Why are Scott and Cam there? And it's like, we're like, oh geez, me and Kayla have been friends for like 8 years.
Wait, I have one more question before Harry does his.
Yes.
You can read a bitch. I know that's
On
right.
occasion.
Oh, like the song. This ain't build a bitch.
Love
You
Billboard.
don't
What are
get
Harry
to
and I's worst
pick and
traits?
choose.
How long do we have? We'll save that for the Patreon.
Yeah, let's save that. I gave you a retention.
What's my best trait?
Your teeth.
Okay, thanks.
Now he's going to smile like that the whole episode.
Just full grin the entire rest of the podcast.
So, MCC. MCC, which stands for Minecraft.
Actually, it stands for MC Championship because we're not allowed to have it stand for Minecraft.
Really?
You didn't do your research.
So Minecraft EULA stuff is you aren't allowed to have Minecraft be the start. So you could have like something Minecraft, but you can't have Minecraft something.
Oh, is that why it's called Hypixel?
Yeah, it's why it's MC. Like the MC, even though obviously you do think Minecraft Championships, MC does just stand for MC. Because it was a whole thing at the time where it was like with Minecraft Mondays, Keemstar basically got sent like cease and desist, and he was like, no. And they were like, okay, well, we'll just sue you then.
Did he actually get sued?
I don't think so, because I think the event just kind of crumbled itself anyway, like around that time.
Yeah.
But
It
it's
was
because
Keemstar, that tends to happen.
Oh, Minecraft Mondays was so lit though.
Minecraft
We need to
Mondays
bring
was-
it back, but not Keemstar.
Well, that's how MCC started, was because we did Minecraft Mondays and we're like, this is fun having 40 creator friends together, but the guy that runs it's an asshole. And also the event realistically is like the least amount of effort put in just to like have people. That one was also crazy. We used to have a Twitter DM that you had to put screenshots of your view stats from the stream, and if you didn't hit the minimum, he kicked you.
What was the minimum?
It was like 2,000 concurrent viewers.
Oh my
God.
Yeah.
40 people running 2,000.
Yeah.
Mad.
Because I only got offered it at the time. It was really strange, where it was like during my Pride Month Twitch slot, so I was on the front page. He came in and was like, oh, if you kill 10 creepers in 10 minutes or something, you can join like my Minecraft event. And I was like, sure.
You were
Keemstar.
At that point,
Can I hang
didn't
out with your
really
young
know-
girlfriend as well, Keemstar?
My only experience with Keemstar really before that was like Drama Channel that had once tweeted one of my friends had a head-on car collision at VidCon, but what had happened was she stood to get into the Uber, hit her head, and then fell back out onto the floor. So it wasn't technically wrong. She did have a head-on car collision, but not with another car. But yeah, so like I killed some creepers, got in the event, and then I used to just...
Who was on your team?
Originally, I wanted to invite Smallish Beans.
Yeah.
And Keemstar said no because he didn't like him. Because Joel, one time, Keem had been an ass online, and Joel had tweeted that he was like, or Keemstar had tweeted that he was watching like Lost or something, and Joel just tweeted spoilers at him.
That's the most Joel thing I can think of.
And Keemstar held onto this grudge. Like the moment I said Smallish Beans, he was like, not that guy. Like, and I was like, oh, that's real. Like, so I remember going to Joel being like, why is Keemstar got beef with you? And he's
That's
like, oh my
so
god,
funny.
the only thing I've done is tweet spoilers for like Lost at him.
That's so good.
So I ended up bringing Jack Massey Welsh. So
Oh my
Jack's
God.
I
also
love
like
Jack.
my other
Generational
one.
pull.
I know. So that was my other one, was Jack at the time.
I love the concept of you being to Minecraft Mondays what Koi Piso is to MCC Pride.
I used to just, honestly, after each stream, like, sometimes you wouldn't hit the 2,000, so I would just edit the views up and send a screenshot. He didn't
He'd
care. He
fall
didn't
for
know.
that.
Yeah, he
I was
didn't-
going to say, there's no way they're going on Twitch Tracker.
No, they're not actually checking it. It was just like the wanting to see kind of, and I'm pretty sure most people did it for a while, but it was one of those, I'm like, it's so scummy, like having to like put in front of everyone as well. So it was kind of like, oh, you're a small fry in front of all these big guys, get out. Like,
Yeah, fuck off.
God, yeah. Do you do that for MCC?
yeah,
Yeah, he
super hard
does.
vetting process. Like
He pushed me down the
views.
stairs because
Yeah.
I didn't hit 200 concurrent.
She said she was going to. She didn't. Had to get her.
That's fair.
No, the one thing that's a guarantee with Lexies and an MCC, especially if it's a rivals,
Oh, I'm clip farming, bitch!
the cameras love Lexie. Whoever the cameraman or any Twitch rivals event, obsessed. Like, Lexie will be like near the bottom, like bottom 5 placement.
That's
for
probably why,
things.
because I'm last.
Yeah, but it'll be in games where there's still people like alive doing well. Doesn't matter. They're on Lexie. Like, the cameraman loves Lexie.
Rocket Spleef this year. I'm dead. I was first to die. I turn around, there's 5 cameramen around me. I'm just like...
Literally, like, absolutely obsessed. If you ever watch any of the rivals like compilations where it's like clips from it, a good like 1/4 is just Lexie. Like,
I love
Lexie
it.
fully more than anyone else is crazy.
Love you.
That's how
MCC.
you get the camera time, is I put you in a team with Lexie.
Yeah, right. I always need to think of better poses when I walk on, though.
Yeah,
They're
true.
always really weak. I still have my Suit for Eloise jersey. But with MCC, do you want to tell the podcast exactly what you do for MCC?
I organise the teams. So my role used to be slightly bigger. I used to kind of be a bit more involved in it. And then, so like what would kind of happen is like, we'll have our meeting, we talk about what we're doing, we'd pick our maps, which I'm still involved with, but then
Test
I
them all.
don't hear anything until I basically get the update video script, where it's like, okay, these are what's actually in the event now. And then I obviously don't play it until the night off. What would happen is I would play it once, like the week before the event, because testers are really good at finding flaws with the game mechanics, but they're not good at figuring out what won't work from a stream perspective. Like, there's so many times where I'm like, this makes sense from a game design. If I'm live, this is awful. This does not work. It doesn't work for this. So that worked grand for like 2 years of MCCs until the infamous like space race. Yeah, fucking space race. This like slightly longer Ace Race map, and I basically had played it once, so I knew roughly where to go, and I kind of got a slight bit ahead, and then like no one seen me, so Phil was then second, so everyone followed Phil, and he just didn't see the turn and just took a wrong turn, and it just then caused like a traffic jam of everyone just following Phil. So I'm like, finished the checkpoint, I'm on to lap 2, everyone else is just doing circles like near the end because they don't know where to go. And then that was also when there was a subsection of the audience that just actively were like, he cheated, that's cheating.
And people
Low-key, a
never
little
let
bit
it
you did, because
go.
you had played it before.
I'd played it once.
Not to side with them,
I'd played
but
it.
they
The
have
thing
a
is,
point.
I'd played it every event before that, and it had never been an issue.
Yeah.
It was just that one game that, like, because everyone else, like, I'd created just enough a gap where no one could follow me. Because even the other maps I'd played before, but I was never winning. It was just because people were quicker at it. It was just that one time that
were
I'd
just
happened
ahead.
to. So that's why we then just put like big flashing arrows
Yeah.
all over the map to be like, this way from
Thank
now
you. I
on.
needed that as well.
But
Thank you.
If my cancellation is over fucking block game, I'll take it.
Because how do you feel about that? Because people to this day, if there's one thing, if you upset 2020, 2021 Prime Twitter, they will hold it against you for life.
Oh, yeah.
I remember you and G had that.
Golden
They were
Gate.
up your ass, and not in a good way.
I think a lot of it is they were from a certain subsection of the community whose streamers themselves would moan about stuff online, like would actively get involved, and like as much as you can be like, oh well, I'm not telling them to, it's like if you know what you're doing.
You know,
like,
yeah,
you have an
everyone
audience
knows what
that-
they're doing.
I also understand being competitive, but then also there's just like a level of grace where you go, okay, also you didn't make it.
Yeah,
you didn't.
like I didn't design them. I just picked the teams,
Yeah.
and then that used to be also the thing was it was like the only time I could win the event and it not be contested was I had to be in a team that no one thought was going to win, and it just surprised one. The moment I had like a slightly competitive team, it was this is rigged. Like it was rigged in his favor. And I'm like, cool, fine. Like I stopped caring was my main thing. Like I was just like, if you want to get mad at me over block game while there's like genocides going on and
know what I
like
mean?
actual like people starving and dying, I'm like, cool, like use your energy that way.
well, do
Like,
you ever like get annoyed that people do think that you run absolutely everything, and people, because you are the face of MCC, but do you ever get annoyed that people are like, he does everything, and you're like, bro, I'm like Jeffree Star making the eyeshadow.
honestly, I just sort of grabbed like the vibes are good for this one, put them together. I think it used to annoy me more. I think it was also at that time like people would get mad at one thing and then they would just try and like bring up everything from any phase, and like people were constantly just taking things out of context and trying to like dogpile on to just like build it up.
These things are just inherently you have nothing to do with,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Again, it was one of those like I used to care more. I think like there was a period where that era, like I slowly lost like the love for MCC kind of thing. Like I sort of was like, it became more like a chore where it was kind of like, cool, I need to give myself like a team that can't win. I need to just keep my head down and not talk about it too much and just pray that nothing happens. And then luckily, like after a few creators did cheat and break the rules, that was kind of a way for us to be like, okay, cool, well, we're going to bench you. And then, because that was the rule, like one of them, I mean, I can talk about it, he did it live. Dream cheated during one of the events because like,
Was that when he glitched through Hole in the Wall?
no, because Hole in the Wall is an inherently glitchy game.
I
Like,
love
Yeah.
Hole in the Wall, it's the only one I'm good at. Maybe that's why.
because you can, like, there's ping involved. It was that, if that was the one game where like Pearl, who normally has notorious ping being in Australia, so would struggle at every other game, but Hole in the Walls would just phase through walls.
Yeah.
So we were like, you know what, Bestie, you have that advantage. Like, we can't help
We'll
it.
give you that.
No, Dreams was basically his team got wiped in survival games, and then so did Sapnaps, and then they found each other and like cross-teamed, which is like against the rules kind of thing. And I remember like we were like
That's bannable in Fortnite.
so like it literally is like if we have MCC rules where it's like you don't do like that's one of the things, no cross teaming, and then he came back and was like, actually it says that you're not allowed to cross team unless it would like if it's because it wouldn't benefit your team, but me teaming with Sapna was actually the most beneficial thing that we could do right there. So we were like, right. So
Shut
we
the
ended
fuck
up,
up.
I was like, we were like, okay. So we changed the wording of that. We gave him a warning.
Hey, listen, if he can find the loophole, then the loophole needs to be fixed,
so we
you know?
changed the wording. We did, like, we let him back in. And then he did another event. I can't remember what this one was, but, like, he did cheat again, like, breaking the rules properly. So then we were like, cool, next time he signs up, we'll let him know, like, you're benched. Like, the rule was basically, if you broke a rule, you were benched for the next event you signed up for. So it was like, you can sign up, we'll bench you, and then from after that, we'll put you back in.
Okay.
But then because he knew he was going to get benched, his ego just stopped him signing up. So he just then never signed up again.
Hey,
so
I
it was
mean,
like,
fair.
cool, you've now not been active, we'll remove you from the Discord and move on.
Woof. So you got space in the Discord now?
No, I filled it with a bunch of the lovely Hermitcraft people. The
It was
hermits and
I was about to say unproblematic.
yeah, the hermits
Goats.
and their audience are a much nicer subsection of the community to have involved. So
Could you get me on a team with Germa? Could you do that?
I don't think I have Jerma.
I just want to meet Germa. Okay.
If you can figure out how to get Jerma into an MCC, that's
Yeah, it could be
when
Is that
mutually
the only way I
beneficial.
can get into an MCC? If I
You
can
get
somehow
Germa-
get fucking Germa
To
in
be
as
fair,
well.
who was it? I remember I think it was back in the day, it was Tom who was like, can I get Pokimane? And I was like, if you can get Pokimane to say yes to teaming in an MC, like to playing MCC, yes, you can team with her. And then like 4 days later, he's like, Pokimane said yes. I'm like, right, okay, right, we'll get her in. Like,
Well, Jack's gonna get Doja Cat in at some point. Okay,
Exactly.
That will happen.
It will happen. But then also, what is it like making the teams? Because are we allowed to say on the form when you sign up for MCC? So when you sign up for MCC, there's 2 bits that you have to fill out. There's one saying who you'd want to be on a team with, and people that you wouldn't want to be on a team with. What is the drama of putting together the teams? Is there a lot of politics with it?
Most of the time, I'd say like no. The who you want to team with thing like doesn't really get used anymore. I think I actually have removed that from the forums now. It's only for the rivals one that's still there, just because I now know what I'm doing balancing wise enough, and I know who knows people. I know the vibes well enough that like I can kind of do that. I obviously, if I can make it work, or someone asks specifically, like yeah, I'll try and put them together. And it's easier for like. If you're a kind of mid to bottom tier player, I can kind of put you with anyone. It's because I used to have a lot of like the S tier people want to team with other S tiers, and I'm like, I can't balance that. Like, I need you all as captains of different teams here. Like, I can't have you together.
I think every year I always put Hannah because I'm like, I don't want to let her down like that. I can't let Hannah down.
But the one for like not putting stuff is obviously like people will have their own drama or discourse or reasons they don't like someone, and like I don't pry. It's almost like really bad because some people will be like, oh, you get all the drama, and I'm like, no, I get like half tease. I get to know that someone doesn't like them, but no idea why.
And then you DM them going, you will be on that team unless you tell me.
No. It's the one thing I don't do, but it is funny where sometimes I'll get caught off guard. I'm like, oh, what's the drama? Why don't you like them? Like,
I got so lucky with my teams. Pizza Hut on my first MCC because I was with Jack and Ollie, who I obviously knew, and then Pete, literally one of my favorite humans ever. He was so sweet. And then when I got subbed in for this year's MCC, oh my god, when I realized I was on a team with Shadoon, I was like, oh my god, he's scary. He's the nicest guy ever.
Yeah,
He's
super.
the nicest guy ever.
we're at like everyone in MCC is really, really nice.
Do you know who else is really funny? Etoile.
Yeah, 12s are
He's
good.
so fucking funny. We were about to walk on and he said something. He was like, because they were against like Spanish people as well, I think, and he was like, "Fuck the other team, fuck the other team. French people stick together."
My favorite bit was like I met at like I'd only met him earlier this year when we were in Sweden because like a bunch of us got taken out to do the Minecraft office stuff and like see about some of the movie props, and that was how I'd met Twile, and I hadn't really spoken to him much for the trip until like one of the meals. I think it was I can't remember who the company were. Fossil had done like a Minecraft collab, and like they'd had a dinner on, but they'd put placemarks with like our own little Minecraft characters and their names. And mine, I was sat next to like a Twile, and it was like Merrick, and I had like Foolish and Tina and a couple other people. And some people, they were like, oh, you can swap them around if you want. So like a few people had, but I was like, no, I'm sticking. I was like, I like those type of things sometimes to like force me
Just
to
meet
interact.
new
I was like,
people,
Yeah.
yeah.
It gives us that thing of like, we both don't know each other, but we know we have to sit here. So I was like, right, like, great, let's chat. And the 12 was great. Like, I think it helped also, like, he's friends with Phil and all that. So like, we had
Yeah.
mutuals already. We kind of knew who each other were. But it was nice to have a way to actually chat. So we just kind of clicked. And then I was like, do you want to play MCC? And he's like, yeah.
He's like, well, fuck yeah.
Who do you think the best MCC player of all time is? Out of everyone who's played in the event, who's the GOAT?
I'd say probably fruit berries.
That's
oh
what I
my
was gonna
god,
guess.
I love fruit so
That's what I was
think
gonna guess.
I think fruit is both like statistically one of the highest and consistent. Like he has a really high score considering especially how many he's played compared to like Feinberg, who's really, really good and places really high, but has only played a handful of events. So like his average has a lot less chance of being dunked. Whereas like Fruit has played, I think,
Oh my
since
God.
season like 1.
He's also the nicest human.
That's what I was going to
ever.
say. Fruit is also so sweet, and like I never worry about who I put him in a team with because I can put people who are less skilled with Fruit, and Fruit will just make them feel better and like make them perform better. And if someone doesn't do well, like he doesn't care. Whereas like some of like the S tier people, lovely, but like they get really competitive or locked in, or they're maybe not as good at like mentoring some of the like lower skilled players. So Fruit is like probably I'd say my.
Oh my god, I love him.
Consistently still places really high.
He's so wicked. I love
Gets on
Fruit.
with everyone. I've never had a bad experience with him, and he's just really nice.
When we did the 3-day esports camp, he was teaching me how to inventory jam. God bless his little heart. I didn't know what was going on.
I don't know what that
Inventory
means
jam.
Oh my
either.
god, it was so good. Well, go on, Harry.
Yes. SMPs.
I've done plenty.
You've done a lot.
If there's
done so many.
The
You've
S and
done
S,
a lot.
the S and SMP stands for SMAJOR. Like,
Yeah. So how do you? Well, you have a lot of them, or nearly all of them, are character and lore based.
I'd say it sort of is like that was a recent change in the last like 5-ish years. I'd say before then, like back in the day when we were doing like Crazy Craft and Trollcraft.
Well, that's the thing. I've only known you the past 5 years.
So like back then that was just kind of you did Minecraft SMPs and you were just yourself.
You were
and it
on
was-
Crazy Craft.
Well,
Wow.
there was 2 Crazy Crafts. There was Captain Sparkle's Crazy Craft, and then there was like LD Shadow Lady's Crazy
Okay,
Craft.
I watched Captain
I was
Sparkles.
going to say, well, also, there's a hilarious that I love Jordan. Captain Sparkles is great. Like, no beef whatsoever. But at the time, I remember, like, basically, they made this Crazy Craft mod pack and made it public. CBK found it and was like, oh, we should do this as our, like, server kind of thing. So, like, got it set up with, like, LEXIE and all that, blah, blah, blah. And then Jordan that took their mod pack down because they didn't want other people making series on it, which was too late because it had got out and like, we already had it. So then I remember he had tweeted this tweet at the time basically being like, oh, new Crazy Craft episode like out or like this week or something, and someone replied like, OMG, the Crazy Craft like with like LEXIE and Small Screens and SMAJOR, and he replied, this was also atted all of us and was like, no, the original one. I was like,
Did you ever bring that up to him?
no. Like, because the thing is, like, people...
We're turning this into an Instagram
Yeah.
reel and
Yeah.
tagging him.
People have, like, changed concept. And like, I said, like, Jordan's great. Like, normally when I go to LA, like, me, Jordan, Cara, Shelby, and all that will, like, go and grab a meal and, like, hang out and just, like, have a nice catch-up kind of thing. So, like, I only have, like, positive things to say about Jordan, which is what makes it really funny to remember, like, that. Because at the time, like, he had no idea who I was kind of thing. And just he was Captain Sparkles had been in the space forever. But that was like back then we used to just do normal Minecraft stuff, and then it was kind of Empire's SMP was like the first
Legendary.
It originally started as again it was just playing ourselves, but we were like theming our areas. So
Yeah.
like I was doing elven architecture, and that was going to be my structure, and like I had a skin with little elf ears, and that was kind of it. I was still me. And then at the time, that was also...
You weren't like putting on an accent.
No, it was the one
No,
thing I'd
this
say...
accent's actually
I don't
fake.
know if you famously put on accents during SMP.
Yeah, I've just been pretending to be Scottish the entire time. This is just fully put
It's for the
on.
brand.
But then we did, at the time, that was one of the good things, or one of the few good things to come from the Dream SMP was that, like, they kind of brought back Minecraft roleplay in a way where, like, back at that point, it kind of was like a very 2012 machinima thing, like, it was kind of cringe to do. But then they kind of brought back, like, character improv sort of stuff that then I think, like, opened, like, that kind of medium to everyone. And that's sort of where it pivoted to. We were kind of like, oh, we can do slightly more storytelling bits here. And, like, from then on, it kind of became something where it's like, oh, cool, like, we don't need to be, like, characters per se.
Yeah.
A lot of time it's just me being me, but I've got, like, a theme where I might have, like, a backstory. So it's like, why am I here? But it's not affecting anything. And then the first time I did proper accent stuff was Cowboys.
Yeah.
I
I was watching Pyros didn't do it. Click on the stream and it's you going, hello everybody. I couldn't even do the accent.
Let's see if I can find it. Oh god, I I only realised, like, I was like, oh crap, I need a Western accent like 30 minutes before we went live for the first day. And I'm just sat
WikiHow.
literally on YouTube being like, how to do a Southern accent, like watching it. I'm trying, awful. I eventually settled on kind of like a Benoit Blanc, like Knives Out, like, well, howdy there, folks. Well, how we doing today? Like, I kind of like Southern drawl to it. Yeah. And I was like, cool, that worked. Turned out I was actually one of the better accents in that SMP. I was like, some people were not great at them. Also, it was hilarious because anytime I'd interact with Ren, he couldn't keep a straight face for long. So he kept muting during our conversation because he's like, I'm laughing at the accent, but also how is he holding it for this long? Like,
Actor, theatre kid.
Yeah, I did find like during that there'd be so many times if you ever watched my POV, we'd be in a group conversation and like my accent would just start to morph into what other people were doing. So I'd have to like mute myself and just go, howdy there, howdy there, like to find what it was again to reset myself.
Do you feel like having the characters helps you enjoy the game more? Because I imagine there's only, well, the thing that blows my mind about SMPs is, don't you get bored of Minecraft? Does it keep it fresh for you? Or?
I think it depends on what it is. So like, obviously Cowboys was different because it was a proper, like, it was an interesting kind of improv class that I'd never done before, because again most of my characters are like bits and things are just me but like amped up a bit or tweaked a certain way. I keep hitting this, I'm so sorry. But Cowboys was the first one where it was like, oh, my brain was thinking like not how I would react but how would like the sheriff of this town act, like how would I say to this, or how would I, so it was quite often if it was like, me would have been able to just be like, let's ignore it. But I was like, as a character, it does not make sense for me to ignore you breaking into someone's house. Like, I need to put you in jail now. Like, come on. Which is, I think also a lot of the series we do now, we kind of go into it with like an end goal. So like, or like an end date roughly. So like, Cowboys, we knew it was like 2 months. Like, the Vampires SMP one, we know it's like 8-ish episodes kind of thing. So it makes it easier to not get like bored or burnt out because you kind of like, work out, okay, I've got 8 weeks, what do I want to do in it, how can I fit it in kind of thing.
I think all SMPs need a fucking end date.
I think, or at least like an end date in mind. Like, I know for Empires we were going to end it in like December, and then it came to December and we like did a meeting and we were all kind of like, I think this probably still has another couple months, like it feels weird to us. We're like, great, let's push it to February. So then it gave people that extra time to do it. But I think when you kind of go into it without an end goal or without a rough idea, people then eventually get burnt out or bored and drop off, and then it slowly just becomes less active, and then it feels bad to be on like a solo world.
Well, it's like, I love Toby, obviously the Realm.
Oh yeah,
I think we were all kind of under the premise that it was going to end in like July.
Yeah,
because I think we had like a meeting. I don't know if this is leaking. I'm sorry, Toby. We had a meeting and Toby was like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to end this about July." So, and I don't do law. It's not really my thing. No. But everyone kind of has these big story arcs. They're like, okay, I'm wrapping up in June. And the server's like still up and running. And everyone wrapped up their storyline like 4 months ago. And I'm like, fuck, what's happening?
I think it's like, I think the Realm originally, I think he wanted it to end in like January, I want to say.
Oh, yeah, I was hearing things every couple of months.
I think it's that type of thing where it was like the Realm kind of like blew up past Toby's scope, I think.
I don't think he thought it would be that big.
I think he thought it would be a fun thing to do that was kind of like RuneScape Minecraft, like with the scaling stuff. People played it and I think he thought that'd last for a bit, but then the audience like really attached to it. And then it meant the creators themselves were like, cool, I'm gonna like, Amy did her story stuff, Beck did hers, and like, I never really did. I kind of got forced into a story with Realm just because it was like, I came from a snail. I was like, how does that make sense?
Oh my god, I forgot you're on the Realm.
Yeah, me, Johnny, Crow, and Freddie all joined at the same wave.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
Well, to be fair, no, that was, I kind of basically had to ask because I'd asked Toby to join. He's like, yeah, I'll get you in like the next thing.
I asked 3 times.
Oh, well, so then I asked and he was like, oh, well, like, I might add you for like this big player event, like end of February, which never, he was like, and I was like, no. He's like, I want to play sooner than that, sorry. He's like, oh, well, I can add you in this thing, which I'm glad you did because he never did the big player event.
Yeah.
But I think it was just that sort of thing. I think he wasn't expecting it to blow up or get as much of like audience reception as it was.
And his main focus is like the servers now.
Yeah. So I think that kind of happened where I think Toby's priorities changed, which was fair. And I think we as the players were a bit kind of like, well, what do we do then? Like, it was sort of like, I don't want to spend hours doing it if it's going to end in 2 weeks. So, like, just give us a date. But I think that's then why people like Amy and Beck were like, I'd rather end my story fully rather than, like, leave it to trail off and do nothing. So that's why they were just like, I'm ending now. Because Amy was like, I've had so many Minecraft SMPs where everyone just sort of disappears and I'm just left with a story that I was telling alone and I never get to finish it. So I think for this one, they were like, I'm going to finish it. Like, this is my bet.
Well, you, as you just said, have been a part of so many SMPs. I'm guessing it's public knowledge. Well, Scott has this massive wall in his house that is just filled with just the best. Sorry, I wouldn't even call it fan art. It's commissioned, right? Art of all the different SMPs. Which SMP was your favourite? Or which do you hold the most dear to you?
I think it has to be Empires. I think, like...
That artwork.
Empires was, the first one that, like, I'd got this artwork done. Where I kind of was like, I wanted a real-life painting kind of thing done for it. And I'd found... There was this one artist, Sabira, who was doing, like, insane artwork, like, fan art and all this, like, really traditional-looking digital work. It looked like hand-painted. And I remember at the time being like, I want to hire her to do this, like, sort of Vanity Fair style, like, all of the employees and their costumes and, like, their outfits and all that. And, like, we looked sick. Like, Sabira was so good at, like, making everyone look really good. My issue was I messaged and asked about a commission, got really excited about it, without clocking that, like, in their bio it was, like, award-winning artist, all this sort of stuff. So then it was like, oh, for, like, 14 people, it's going to be, like, $1,000 and a bit. And I'm like, sure.
Worth it though. Oh, like, my god.
I was like,
Is it a painting or is it digital?
I have like a...
The wall is amazing. They're all properly framed. It's like it's like a Hall of Fame.
I do like a gallery wall. So like basically like if there's a series that does particularly well / is like a key feature, I would say, like in my channel. So like I've got Empires 2, there's Pirates.
Did you do Origins?
Yeah,
was that
Origins
you?
is up there as well.
It's so cool. It like makes me emotional, and I haven't even watched them, but it's so
Oh
cool.
wow, that's awesome!
Right?
So like,
is it the same artist who does them all?
No, so I also make a point if I choose different arts for each one. Because I like... There's so many really, really talented artists in like the creator space and in the Minecraft community especially. So I always make a point for like the gallery wall if I try and sort of spread the love money-wise to a different creator for each time. And it's the same as if I do like life, you know, like those movies on YouTube where it's just like your entire series condensed into like 1 4-hour episode.
Yeah.
I also make a point for those where I get a different artist for each thumbnail kind of thing. So again, I like sort of working with different artists to kind of make them stand out, have a little bit of their own style, but then also I just like being able to kind of like support a bunch of different people easily. So I do it that way.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's wicked.
Oh. Well, we've spoken a few times about how you've been around a hot minute. First of all, how's it feel to have been able to have this be your job for like a decade?
Crazy, because it was never meant to be a job. Like it was never something I ever thought about being a job. I was like, I went to uni, I did 3D animation. Like,
That was my next question. Have you ever used your degree in 3D animation?
No, God no. I realized very quickly into it that I didn't have the patience for 3D animation, like the setting up rigs and keyframing and like all the technical jargon. I was like, Like I was very much a like average student. I'd get the pass mark and that was about it. Mainly because obviously in my free time I was doing YouTube videos. I was uploading that. The only one of my subjects or one of my modules in uni was like video editing and Photoshop, and I was like,
pass with flying colours.
Because I'll always remember there was this one lecture. I missed the very first week of uni, or the first Friday of uni, because I had a like Insomnia gaming convention to go to.
Oh my
so I
God,
came back in the
Insomnia.
second week, and like this lecturer, I can't remember his name was Alan, and he was like typical big white Scottish man, like slightly kind of scary. And I remember him like being like, "Oh, I weren't here last week," and I was like, "Oh, like I had a event like for this work, so I had to go to blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "Well, don't expect to get any extra help. Like you're on your own. Like don't ask for like." And I'm like,
He's on the hit list with Natalie now.
So I'm like, okay, my bad, Alan. So then it's like, okay, we're all sat at our computers. He's like, we're going to download these files. And it was literally like a PNG of a chopping board and then PNGs of different fruits. And you were meant to compile them together, like to layer them on top to make it look real.
And if you couldn't do it, you couldn't.
Because obviously it was like very big, like this was everyone's second week most of using Photoshop kind of thing. So I'm like, okay. So like I throw it in, drop shadows, like I'm adding extras, like
making
I'm
a thumbnail.
I'm like, cool, that's it.
Add a red circle.
Yeah.
Kiwi.
Like, whoa, can you like right now we're pointing to nothing, but you're like, why is it pointing to that? So then I'm like finished and I like put my hand up and like Alan's like, I told you not to ask for help, and I was like, oh no, I'm done. And he was like, what? And like he walks over and he was like, oh okay, well like he's like, we can start adding like shadows, and I like see the screen. He's like, oh, you've done that. He's like, or you can just help other people then.
Gag.
So I was like, but then since that, like Alan was in like, oh okay, cool, like you're fine. Yeah. So then like whenever we did the video editing, I remember it was like you just get supplied stock footage of this like people like B-roll basically in a park or something. Everyone else is just compelled together. I'm like zooming in and this dog running past. Like I'm doing like comedy jumps and all that. Sort
You've
of,
got the crack edit
because
down.
I was like, what's the point?
Turn it
I was
into a
like, I'm
YouTube
done.
poop.
Literally, I'm like, literally turning it into bloopers. Like, I'm done within 2 minutes. What do you mean this is difficult to drag and cut some edges and throw it together? Like, so that was the one module where everyone else would get like passing grades and I'd be like the show off, where I'd be like, I haven't got the full marks actually.
Well, what do you feel like is your secret to longevity then?
I think because I did it not wanting it to be like a job, like it was something I enjoyed to do. I think you need to like have an interest and a passion in doing content creation because it's such a like unguaranteed job. Like any job nowadays feels unguaranteed, but it used to be like you go, you train to be an electrician, you get an apprenticeship, you get a job. Like you go to uni, you study, you go and get a part-time like entry-level job, build it up. But YouTube was like you could do the best videos out there, but the algorithm just doesn't find you.
Yeah.
Like so there were so many creators that I've met that are like amazing at what they do. Like honestly, way better content than what I do, but like the audience just didn't resonate, or the like algorithm didn't pick it up, or they don't know people to kind of get out there. I think like content creation is like everything; it's a lot of who you know rather than what you know. And
your
I'd say
network is your net worth.
yeah, like that's a good one.
That was good. I'm making out the intro clip.
There we go. Your network is your net worth. I'd say it's that sort of thing of like I used to say it's about 60% who you know. 20% actually making good content, and then another 20 is just luck of whether the algorithm is like you're chosen today, up onto the homepage you go. Like,
to be fair, I think the YouTube algorithm has gotten better. I think it's gotten to the point where if you are consistently making good content, eventually it will be found.
I think it's if you're making algorithm content, like I think you can play the algorithm like what Mr. Beast did. Like he kind of came in and seen what was working, what he thought would work the algorithm, and sort of pushed for it, and like was constantly like. I've never been one to like check or like follow the trends. Like I've done Minecraft while it was at the trenches of like unpopularity to when it was at the peaks of like COVID. Like I've kind of chopped and changed all off it. But I think there's two. Is what I always say is there's two different types of either being a content creator or creating content. I think like you're creating, which both are valid, but I think creating content is you're making stuff with the purpose of like making money, making it a business, following algorithms, like jumping from trend to trend. Like you're creating content, that's what you do. But I think when you're someone who people are following you for you, and like rather than just like a series you do, like that's when I'm like, oh, you're a content creator, you're making it because it's something you want to make and people are attracted to you, not necessarily just the thing you're making.
Oh, because we'll talk a little bit later because we're nearly at the end of this main episode. We'll talk a little bit later about your Sheffield group, about Lizzie and Joel and Jimmy
on the
and everybody
Patreon.
on the Patreon.
On the Patreon.
Do you have a panic about like a feeling of, oh my god, like what if now like things go wrong, or are you just so set in it now where you're like, it's been 10 years, I've invested, I've got my shit sorted?
I think it's kind of changes. Like I've had different eras or bits where like I think like back a few years ago when I was in the like it just felt like I couldn't do it. I couldn't speak without making it wrong basically, and it sort of at that point like it killed a lot of my like
drive,
like my drive, my enthusiasm, like everything. I was just like I don't see a point. Like what, like I'm trying my best to like not upset or fuck it up, and I just seem to constantly be. And eventually, like again, you kind of realize that the people who are actually mad at me and for a lot of the time harassing me with that sort of stuff were never fans of mine anyway, and they were never going to be. Like,
that's literally what I say, and it was just on Twitter.
Yeah,
I remember you
literally.
deleting Twitter and being like, "Wow, my life's so much better now."
Like I don't have Twitter on my phone. Like I use Twitter if I scroll like at home, and it's more just so I'm like aware of what's happening like within the sphere. Like so I'm still up to date if someone's cancelled or like what's going on, who's doing what. Like it's good to still have that, but I don't publicly tweet. I barely use DMs, and like I'll occasionally like fan art. Like that's kind of my maximum for Twitter, and since removing it, it's just been the best thing for my mental health. Like it's so much better that way. But I mean, I think I've thought before like what I would do if I stopped doing YouTube. I think interior design is what I'd like want to go into. It's something I enjoy doing.
To be fair, you saved the set.
Yeah, no, literally already.
It's the thing that like I take pride in my house being decorated nice. It's the thing that I'll get asked a lot by friends who are like, I need help.
I was going to message you about this.
Yeah.
I like that Scott in his house, every time there's a different vinyl that's like the vinyl of the month.
Yep, I have like a little thing on the wall so it changes between it'll be like Katy Perry or ABBA or Chapel Roan or Sabrina. Like I even one of my favorite vinyls I got from I think it was like one of like the antique fairs I got to was the Muppets vinyl?
I have. Wait, is it the green one?
No, it's like the Muppet
original
show,
Muppet.
The
Oh,
Muppet Show
wow.
one with all that
That's
on the front.
wicked.
So it's one of my favourite vinyls. It sits in the back of my stream setup kind of thing. Because it's rare that I actually want to listen to Kermit sing, but the odd time I do.
He does a
It's
good
beautiful.
impression. He does. What's the song that you always do?
I can't do a
Man
Kermit
or
impression.
Muppet? What's the
Muppet or Man?
Muppet or
Man
Man?
or Muppet. I love that song.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. So
Aw.
beautiful.
Brings a
God.
tear to my eye.
They're coming back.
I know. I'm so excited.
Sabrina Carpenter getting
Oh
in
my god,
there.
the resurgence is going to be crazy.
I'm so fucking excited. Oh,
I need to change that timer sound. Well, that's our hour. I think it was actually over an hour because we were
We yap.
getting into
I'm a
it.
yapper.
yes.
And we're going over to the Patreon. We're going to be talking all things Sheffield group. We're going to be talking about drama. We're going to be talking about...
We will be talking about drama.
We will be
So
talking about drama, so
everybody
you have to
sub.
come over. We're going to be talking about your Halloween outfits as well because that's
Okay.
shit eats. And also your issues with new content creators.
Sounds good. I'm excited.
Aw. Go over to the Patreon. Link in the description. Not
Any
link.
final words, Scott?
Have fun, be nice to each other, and have a good day.
Where the hell are you looking?
I don't have the camera.
I always look at the screen.
Well, I
I'm
look at the
like-
camera.
I thought you were staring over.
Oh
there.
no, there. I keep looking. Part of it is like I'm aware we're filming a podcast, so I want to look at the camera, but then also it feels weird to like talk to you, but like this way.
You
like,
went for a dramatic look into the distance there. Have fun.
Okay.
Be nice.
Bye.
Bye.